Hi friends, it's Liz here. Today I have a design project for Clique Kits. I will be showing you a couple of journal spreads actually that I will be making in this journal. I have the unboxing for the items I'm going to be showing you in the description box below. I've shown you that video before, but I'll be working with the Simple Stories Flea Market collection. I'm so excited about this collection because it is totally something that I love. Flea markets, vintage, antique, that sort of thing, and I'm sure many of you are the same. So I'm going to show you one spread how I put it together, and then I'll show you another one that I put together a little bit after I was filming at a different time, so excuse the lighting if it's a little off. All right, so let me show you what I've done. So as you can see, I have some of the lovely tags that I was cutting out for the project, and then of course I grabbed some of the cardstock die cut pieces, and there's quite a few. I have 2 packs in this little bag, but I wanted to let you know what I've been doing and what the idea is behind this video. So I did get this journal. This is a one from a set that came in I think it was one of like my original kits that were sent to me. This was like last year sometime. And I've been wanting to use this because of the lovely color of the pages. So of course, you know, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the cover, and I'm still not sure about it. I don't think they have this kit in the shop at the moment, but if you check out like their Clique International, they usually have a variety of different kits that, you know, combine different artists from different countries. And so I think that's just so interesting. Anyways, this one was one of them. So I will still come back at some point and finish this cover because I don't think I'm going to keep it this way. I did skip that first page because I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to be adding to it. But what I wanted to show you is what I've been doing is just quickly keeping sort of, you know, kind of the info on the different projects that I've been making for Clique Kits. For a few reasons. One is I make a lot of projects, and so of course sometimes I forget, you know, what I've made maybe a year ago. And also because this is a great way for me to keep track of what I've made for Clique Kits. So as you can see, I've got just the different dates of when the videos went up on my YouTube channel. I still have to glue that down. And then of course what the title was of the video, and then just a quick image to remind me what the project was that I did. So I was doing this of course for you know, everything I've done so far. If you wanted to see any of these videos, most of them are tutorials on how to make these different projects. I will have a playlist linked below for Clique Kits. So of course we come to this one, which this one was the last one I did with the Paige Evans Blooming Wild collection. I really loved it. And so as I was, you know, using this little journal, I also realized that the pages, while lovely and I love the color, you can kind of see through them. This was a stamp actually from one of their collections as well, one of Clique Kits collections. And I've seen how it kind of goes right through the page, right? You can see it on the other side. So what I had done here, because the same thing was happening with the writing, I just glued 2 pages together so that I wouldn't have the writing from the next one kind of peeking through in a way. So I like the way that that turned out. And so I thought, well, from this page on, I thought maybe I'll just do a little bit of memory keeping, because the kits that we'll be using, the Simple Stories Flea Market, reminds me so much of my love of vintage items and, you know, just going through thrift stores and antique stores and that sort of thing. So I did gather some pieces together that I thought I wanted to use. And for example, I made this little file folder, and this is using the Paige Evans Blooming Wild collection. I do have like the 12 by 12 papers. They sent the double-sided. I also have the single-sided. So I decided to make a little file folder, and the reason I made that one smaller because of course I had to fit in the page. And I just used one of the Tim Holtz file folders I purchased a little while back. If you haven't seen that collection, it is really nice and thick cardstock. I love it. And it comes with, I think, 6 or 8 different file folders. I will have them linked below in my Amazon shop if you wanted to check them out. But what I did is I just wanted a smaller version for the page. And so I just sort of used it as, you know, a way to trace like what I needed for my page. So that's the reason I'm bringing that one up. So I think I'll just sort of start putting this together how I was thinking of putting it together. And then hopefully you will find some inspiration in using your lovely kit in your journals. I am not a scrapbooker. So for me, I can't do those beautiful spreads that a lot of the ladies do with these kits, you know, on the 12 by 12 sheets. That's never been me. I am a junk journaler, a memory keeper this way. And so for me, this sort of works a little bit better. If you have not seen my videos, and if you're new to my channel, I will link some of my beginner junk journal ideas below for you. I didn't want to use a junk journal for this project because I really just wanted to start with like a blank page, but I also didn't want them to have white pages, if you know what I mean. So anyways, getting back to this, I'm thinking, I gathered, like I said, some of the lovely pieces. And so my thought process was I would take one of the couch that's in one of the ephemera packs and the little frame that says Flea Market, and I'm just going to sort of add it here. That was the thought of that. And then I was thinking, because of the vintage idea and flea market and everything, I wanted to add a little piece of doily, maybe, possibly. I'm just playing around with the ideas right now. I wanted to add the file folder, almost like as a pocket. I think that's what I want to do with it. So let me start. So this is also going to be a shorter video than my usual tutorials that I've been making, because like I said, I just wanted to make something a little bit, just something that could be documenting something that actually happened recently at a thrift store. So let me just tell you what I'm going to be documenting about as I'm adding the pieces. So I ended up at one of my local thrift stores. I, of course, get my goodies, take them to them. And as I'm, you know, after I drop them off, I just, you know, go see what they might have that I might enjoy kind of purchasing. And I always have a struggle of deciding, you know, do I want to purchase something or not? Because I always find something. It just, there's always something that I want to use. Of course, as a paper crafter, there's so much paper that, you know, they're always leaving there. And, you know, of course, I love vintage and all that stuff. So back to what I was thinking. So I ended up finding this amazing typewriter, okay? Beautiful green color. Like it was just this beautiful, I can't even describe the color that it was because it's just a nice antique green. And it was just like, you know, kind of focused on the front as you walk in. They usually have like a lot of the vintage, really lovely goodies in the front on a shelf. And so, of course, as soon as I saw it, I thought, I want that typewriter. And at the same time, I was thinking, I want the typewriter, but I also don't need the typewriter. You know what I mean? When we go through those moments of like, do I need to purchase this? And of course it is a typewriter. So here's my thought, right? Could I find the ribbon for it so that I could actually use it? It did have ribbon in it and they had tested it out. And so it was just like, you know, a ribbon. I don't know how much of it was left or not, but it didn't also look, of course, like, you know, very fresh. So I was thinking, okay, well, do I need this? So of course, as I'm walking around the store, trying to decide, do I want this? And where would I put it? Do I need to add another large piece of this vintage gorgeousness to my home. And of course, you know, the thought as I was walking around, the price, my friends, the price, okay? This is the other thing that I'm thinking about here. And I'm adding this because I did see a couple of these things there that day too. It was $45 Canadian. So I'm in Canada. That is like a bargain when it comes to something like a typewriter. It was actually something like this color. That's why I picked this piece. But then as I was looking at it, of course, you know, it took up like a whole shelf because it was one of those older ones and vintage ones. And, you know, obviously they don't make those anymore. I was going to take a picture of it and I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. I'm regretting that moment. And I decided to walk away from it. I did. I walked away from it. I had to go pick up my daughter from work. So I picked her up. And as I was telling her about it, she was like, you know what? She's like, I think you should have, you know, picked it up. And I was thinking, I know, I'm regretting it. It's like those moments where, you know, you're thinking if it was meant to be, I'll come back and get it and it will be there, right? So she said to me, you want to go back and get it? And as we were talking about it, we were sort of discussing the fact that it was just going to take up more space in our home. We already have a lot of vintagey goodness that, you know, I kind of have around everywhere. And I wasn't sure. So anyways, the decision I had made was that I was not going to get it. And I didn't go back for it. And the next time I went in, it was, of course, gone. And I regret it so much now. I don't know, you know, what I would have done with it. Because it just would have been, to me, like a big paperweight unless I had found the ribbon. But anyways, this is where I'm going to be journaling about that. As you can see, I've made this into like a little pocket. And then I left the back open as well so I can do a little bit more journaling. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably be adding one of these tags and then a little bit more journaling in the back. And that will just be my little reminder to not walk away from something when I see it, that it's such a great price. But at the same time, I mean, I feel great that I didn't purchase it because I really did not need to have it at home. You know, I don't think I would have been able to find the ribbon, and it just would have been something that was beautiful to look at. But anyways, I regret it. So this is my memory of my little special little typewriter that I could have purchased, but I walked away from. So I did get a few items. I found a little pack of these little bridge tally cards, and I decided to get them. And of course, I'm putting one in this little pocket. This was sort of my compensation price for not getting my typewriter. And I did pick up a few other pieces, like paper related and stuff. But anyways, that's my memory for my typewriter. Now let me show you what I went ahead and did on my second page for the spread. And I apologize for the lighting. Different times, you know, of the day and different times stopping and starting a project kind of changes the lighting. So hopefully you'll still see it well enough. So for this page spread, I was really loving the idea of the, you know, display of vintage frames or photos or artwork, that sort of thing. So I made one of the little strips as a shelf on a wall, and then I added one of the painting frames, I guess, that they include in the collection, some of the little plates with a little bit of those designs, a globe, maybe something hanging from, you know, the shelf there. And then on the other side, very similar, I just took one of the ephemera pieces and added it there again, just to look like it was hanging on the wall. And at the bottom, I added one of the floral elements and kind of made it into a little tuck spot, so that if I wanted to add a photo maybe and tuck that in, or do a little journaling. I'm not sure at the moment what I will be journaling, but I like sometimes to prep my pages, especially when I'm feeling inspired with some items or some ephemera pieces or colors or designs. So that's the reason I decided to prep this second page spread here. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I had fun kind of showing you how I'm using my journal, the different things I'll be making with it. And if you've got any questions, comments, let me know. Leave a comment below. I will link everything I've shown in the description box as well. And I hope you found a little inspiration today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for stopping by.